Hi. I'm going to talk for a while about what's going on here in British Columbia. I've been meaning to make vlogs for a time, and I have to extend this. I don't have a proper thing here. I don't have good equipment. I have shitty teeth, but I know a lot about the history of this province, and I want to talk about what's happened here and the importance of the referendum. And I'm going to be doing that a lot in the next few days here and online, as I've been doing on the street. Right now, I'm at Waterfront Station, and that's the new part of the city behind me in West Cordova. It's become apparent to me, and I know our history, but it's become apparent to me that because of only people who voted before, who haven't been alienated by the system, got ballots. So new citizens, people who turn 19, young kids who only vote 18, 18, 19, or 19, and they've never voted for it. They're only 18% of the vote, but everybody else votes. So they're mobilized. I'm happy, they're mobilized. But the street people didn't know. And there are thousands of them. And it's a system, PR is a system that can benefit them. Do you understand me? There's a guy coming, but it doesn't matter. PR is a system that put them on the street, and they understand that. And they all saw what I've seen, and I start talking and reminding them. They go, yeah, like this, right? So all of them I've been talking to, guys digging in garbage cans. I've been invited to a shelter. I want to go find others. I went to Temple. Just found out where Temple was. All the visible minorities have been discriminated against if they're new, their family, that they've suppressed the vote by making it a mail vote. They may mail in. It may not have been intentional, but that's the effect of it, right? And the whole point of PR, isn't it to include people? It's to bring the people back into the political fold who usually won't vote. Okay, so we got to persuade them to vote. And we're not going to do it by having a closed window and only a few ballot boxes at Service BC offices, which people don't know where they are if they don't have a license or they haven't been able, and they're not. So it's not just the street people and the poor and people like me on disability who could get teeth in Europe, and their system there, because it's PR. I know the history of this province. I know what was stolen. I'm going to take my glasses off because they look shitty. So I'm going to be calling myself the street professor after the nomadic professor. And there's history worth knowing, like the history guy says, about British Columbia, more than people know. And I know all of it. And I know I sound crazy and I look crazy. And I'm a singer and poet and songwriter. I do, as the history guy says, I do history. And do arts. And I do all kinds of things in writing. But, this is important, people. Okay, I need to have the glasses on and focus. This is distracting, not being able to see myself, even though I can see myself move. This is going to be nice inside the station. I'm going to talk on the way home. This is hard to hold like this, so I'm going to try and extend it now and go in the station with it on. But I don't have the stick extended, so bear with me here. So as I'm doing this here, you hear what I'm saying, right? It's really important that absolutely every person in British Columbia vote for PR, so that it's a landslide, it's not a low turnout, that it's a high turnout. And we deserve that extra time, especially the people that didn't get ballots, right, and weren't told, and the government could have done so much. Do you understand me? They could have done so much. Hey, we know who turned 19 this year, send them a ballot. You understand? Everybody has a right to vote, not just people who voted before. It says in the Constitution that everybody has a right to vote, and that should be enabled. What is this? Georgia? Carolinas? Come on now, people. This is supposed to be Canada. I'm on the stairs. You understand what I'm saying? I'm loud. I'll be loud on the train. I can't help it. I'm loud. I got a big voice. I'm a big guy. And I'm angry. Yes, I'm angry. And they'll call me angry, and they'll call me all kinds of names and dig shit up and try and smear me. But that's how they operate. That's who they are. They're not nice people. So anyways, I'm going to try and extend the stick now. It's cold outside. I've forgotten how to do this, you see. It's a twist. There that goes. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, twist it that way. So now I've got that, and I've got to tighten that. You face me this way. This is all new to me. I got to get a good one, And, somebody out there, I could use a videographer and a sound guy, proper. I see that Justin Greenwood, who I congratulate on his video, I'd love to see the Tories back in the House. So that the real conservatives' voice can be told, instead of pretending to be liberals while being arch conservatives and being people who sold us out in too many ways for me to get into in this video. But I'm going to be doing a series. I've got lots to say about what happened here in the history of British Columbia that people need to hear, including about this railway and the other railways we've lost because of the recent government and all the rest that they gave away. In 1983, there's older people like me out there who know what I'm going to talk about, and I won't talk in detail, but I'll just say the 83 elections, the Fantasy Garden elections, people don't know about the Forest Act of 1976, which I read about in a column in one of the papers that was turned into a tabloid after the 83 election, about which too much could be said. Anybody who knows the word, the solidarity crisis, who was in it, just in the movement, the coalition had its issues, and I don't like what Operation Solidarity became, but I understand now why Jack Monroe caved into Bennett, which I'm going to make a video about. Caved into Bennett by helping him block the general strike, B-A-L-K. All right? That's a whole video in itself I'm going to be getting into that has to do with all of this. And with, why things are expensive, why we have skyscrapers, all this. But the Forest Act of 1976, this is critical knowledge. Taking a break, I'll go over to the quiet corner, there'll be people coming by. The Forest Act of 1976. There used to be this thing called the Government Reserve. I should say first that I'm just getting a quieter area here. The better acoustics in the hallway. The Forest Act of the election of 1975, Bennett's election campaign, about which much could be said. 90% of it, as I remember from an article in either the Province or the Sun, sometime about 80 or 81, 79. It was paid by Macmillan Bloedel, which is this forestry wing of Canadian Pacific at the time. I won't say it, Narasson and also Narasson. This is the Canadian Pacific Province. It's important to understand what I'm going to say next. Somebody walking by, I've got to learn not to be distracted, So, 75%, it was 90% of Bennett's campaign. 85% of this province was called the Government Reserve. And it had been set aside by the feds and the province in 1897 because of the old stalemate about land claims. And this is already after the Native movement had begun and Chief Dan George had made his famous speech that launched it here. And in Native youth all across the country, and why we have this strong Native Canada now that needs more rights in their own territories, and they need their sovereign territories again, recognized as such. I won't get on about that. That's a whole video about how that was done. But in that year, the Forest Act gave all that land to the forest industry as timber supply areas, timber berths, and timber leases and some private forest lands. I don't know what proportions. Most of it timber supply areas, including my own areas, which have been clear cut horribly and bring tears to my eyes when I go to my home country. So I'm 63, I saw my country before it got cut, and it pains me because of that act. All right? So those were territories set aside for land claims, now just being piecemealed out in small parcels. And Chilcotin should have got a lot more than they did. They got some, and Nishka got some. It's happening, but not like it should have. And all the resources are taken, and where's all the money and the gold and the trees and the hydro? Where's all that gone? Where's that gone? It hasn't gone to them. And they're still stuck with the consequences, and so are we now. We got people living up there and people sleeping on the street. And why is that? Because of the FPTP system. This is why it's got to go. All right? So absolutely every single one of you, I want you to vote. And spread the word. This is the revolution. Okay? This is the revolution. And you were it. All right? You, me, everybody you meet. If we all vote, we can change British Columbia, and we can shake Canada from the Pacific to the Atlantic and get the attention of the world and say, look, the young people and the new immigrants have woken up to the fact that this is a corrupt regime that is, I can't get angry enough, okay? I don't want to get angry. All I want to do is get out the vote. We have 2 weeks. Go to Service BC. I'm getting angry. I don't mean to tell you. I'm angry at you. Not you, I'm angry at. I'm angry at what was done to your parents, what to you when you were young or you're not born yet. There's so much you need to learn. So I'm the street professor. This is my first vlog. And I like the nomadic professor, and I like the history guy, and I'm really proud of Ryan Hadfield, and I hope he comes to British Columbia. I'd like to tell him a few things. So this is the start of my vlog. I guess it's, my blogging name is, blogging name now is infamous in various quarters. It's Skookum1 with the numeral 1. Won't get it, you can look me up. But also, the street professor, signing off for now from beautiful waterfront station, which has a whole history. Someday I'll come down here and just do the history of the station. And way up high, let's see if I can get them in view. See all those little paintings around the top there? See the paintings around the top? They were painted by the station master's daughter on her trip out here by train. And they're of all the mountains. And I'm gonna come back down here and photograph them. So anyway, it's a beautiful station. It used to have big wooden benches. I knew this station 40 years ago, people. I used to take the train to Mission here to get home, right? And there were big wooden benches here, real beautiful oak benches, you know? You guys have a good night. Happy Friday. I hope it's not too crazy, right? I got to get my card out. So this is our wonderful SkyTrain, which is going to take me a long ways by train. I have to change at Broadway. I might as well keep this on. This is fun. I haven't done this before. I'll be talking to people as I do this, and you'll see how I do it. And people, you know, I know how to do this. I got good at it, talking to people, hawking, I guess you call it, during Expo, when I was a pedicab driver and I wound up being a city guy. I talked to a lot of Americans tonight here, the American weekend. I gave them all kinds of interesting information, and nice wine. Anyway, it's getting on SkyTrain now. I'm going to video it for a while until I get down the train. I relax for a while, but I got to change the Broadway and I'll turn it off. It's good, but I started again. This is more like a tourist session now. So this is the infamous and expensive. Not for us. Oh shit, I'm going to read this paper. This used to be a good paper. The Epoch Times. The Epoch Times. But it's gone completely Trumpian. You include the word the, epochtimes.com, and it's a Chinese international paper, but it's gone. I heard they were Moonies or something. But oh no, excuse me, they're Falun Gong. They do excellent coverage of China, but their coverage of Western politics is atrocious. And so this is, you don't mind me, guys, I'll get you off camera. I'm just kind of just vlogging. Takes a while to get around here. It's Friday night, they were pissing about just being nice, you know. So I wish I had contacts, you know, maybe that's the first thing I should look. I'm going to start a Patreon to get my teeth. I need more than they'll pay for it. I need contacts again to do this better, you know, and oh, there we go. Back on solid land again. This is going to get crazy. So I probably won't have. Oh, is that going? Is that going? That's going? That side? Yeah. Hold the door for me, please. Is it? But it goes from which side? Does it go this way or that way? That side. Oh, that's what I thought you were doing. Oh shit. You see, I don't know what's going on here no more. So I'll just pretend it's a travel vlog. This is my world now, my supernatural world. Supernatural British Columbia, they called it when they did all this. It's supernatural. And that's when they were cutting more trees than ever. I won't go on about that. That's another whole video I'm going to do. It's time for me to not be shy anymore. I don't care what, you know, I don't care about my teeth. I know that I know the truth. So, you know, I wonder if, you know, I'll be called one of those extremists that they're warning us about. I won't run for office. I almost did once, but no. I did help found the Green Party. But for my own personal independence, so they're good, you know.
I'm a rogue. I'm a rogue green, I guess. So I'm out on a mission, and this is Waterfront Station in all its concrete glory, as opposed to Montreal's wonderful art and so on in Paris and everywhere else that I've been. Sterility and social credit liberal architecture is frightening. Yeah. So anyways, the train's coming. People are going to be drunk as they're getting on, so I'm going to leave this on until leave this off until it gets emptied. But the 701, the 2 o'clock 701 I'm making, is going to be a nightmare. Holy cow. So, I'll turn this off after I'm sat. Oh, thank God I made it.
Production Wing University.
Oh shit. Was this only going that far?
Wait, that's not possible.
Oh no, I'm only going after.
Oh, yeah, right.
Oh, that's right. I forget the routes. He's actually going a long way. What that meant was, that's a station on the way that I'm going, but I have to change at Broadway. So there's more walking to be done. I might as well sit down and have some fun and keep talking. I've talked about a lot, haven't I? You know. Okay, now I'll stop talking about moving around. Just to keep talking. Bring this down. I'll make it shorter. There we go. Got it. Yeah, so we eat 5 times. I won't go on about it. I just took it so I can read it later. What rubbish are they saying? They might be taking a different stance now. So, to talk about the oil sands and how stupid I think what's going on is, I also really want to talk about Minister Morneau and the money he wants to give to the press monopolies. And I want to give you the history of the press monopolies. This is the street professor. And I do know a lot. I don't have a degree, but man, I read a lot in all my time. Sure, I read books and play music, but I just still absorb information. I know so much. Alright, so the street professor is telling you this, right? So, yeah, there's so much. Each election, things are related. The press monopolies. I'm sorry, I lose my train of thought. I do have ADD. Press monopolies are a threat to our democracy and always have been. They have controlled it and prevented it from being a democracy. Because they don't tell you what's going on. They lie. I looked up something from 1983 today at the Globe and Mail for Toronto. What was going on here was not being told about truthfully by a Vancouver reporter in Toronto. Okay? We don't have a good national media. Newsrooms got shut down by the military. Look up people talking back in your local library or archive. It happened in the 60s. You go watch it. It was a national hotline show with like 20 coffee shops, coffee plazas across the country where we all had hotlines, we all talked. We had a televised parliament with, 400 people in different cities connected to thousands of Canadians. It threatened the country so much Trudeau doubled the budget and told them never to do it. And News World kind of was it, and it peaked and over the military took it away. Did they ever? And then it's been talking heads and controlled information and really severely controlled press monopoly since. Why? To take your country from you and to take more from you. Yeah, there's more going on than you know. And the press monopolies, they now want billions of dollars from the government because they're failing. So what is this? Companies are supposed to be economically viable and not go to the government for subsidy, but they're somehow vital to our democracy. Why? Because they lie. And it's in their interest because political power. Don't mind me, I'm vlogging politics, okay? Listen to what I'm talking about. It's about the election. It's about what happened before you were born. About how much was stolen. So everybody you know must vote PR. Everybody, absolutely single. Everybody, go to Elections BC. If you didn't get a ballot, many people did not, which is what I'm talking about here. So don't mind me, I'm on my way home. I got a lot. I talk a lot, okay? I want to get it all out, but no, right? I want to do it. I'm on fire, okay?
You can talk as much as you want.
Okay, where are you from, my friend?
Brazil.
Bom dia, bom noite.
Boa noite.
Boa noite, boa noite, obrigado. I lived in Sao Paulo once for 7 days. I was sick, but I did go to Assange. I got sick from the sunstroke, right? And I got, you know, it was interesting to be down there, and I love your culture, and I wish your country well.
Thank you.
Right, yeah, but welcome to Vancouver. Bienvenido. Bienvenido, sí, bienvenido. Sí.
Bem-vindo.
Bienvenido, okay, bienvenido. I want to learn, I want to go down there and learn, right? I'm a musician, I should go.
Nice.
Okay, yeah, guitar, guitarrista. Y pianista. Y cantar, hablo español.
Un poquito.
Sí, no muy hablo español bien. So I could learn your language. Yeah, okay? I could learn your language easy. Right? But I gotta be there.
It's very close.
Yeah, but it's beautiful sounding. I love it. Very sexy. The only sexier language I've ever heard is Hungarian. Hungarian, yeah. Check it out sometime. I was in Budapest and I had a girlfriend. But yeah, it's a certain kind of thing, right? But the same kind of the way you people are about life. Canadians, don't mind me, Canadians. I'm talking about you, which I will do a lot of. I'm going to vlog. I'm doing a political vlog tonight. This is my first one, right? Because of the referendum, I found out how many people did not get ballots, and they're all the people that need to vote. And why were they excluded? We want to make it more inclusive. Well, why didn't we give all the 19-year-old kids a ballot and an invitation to vote? Why didn't we do that for the new citizens? Rather than say, well, only people who voted before we're going to send ballots to. The same cretins that we all got disgusted of. You know, the 39% of us don't, 40% don't vote. You see what I'm saying, right? And I know what's just happening in your country, you know, and I know what the Amazonas is up against, you know. So I said, I wish your country well. I live next door to it, 16 miles away, or less, here. I don't know how far it is here. There's a country full of psychopaths who have PTSD, and they can go to the Rexall drugs and buy a fucking big machine gun, and they go kill people and win. I've been saying human time bombs, PTSD from the wars. Right? And 2 centuries of doing this. You know, they've been doing this to each other. And they were let loose into the world and they think they own it. And they are armed to the teeth and they're crazy and they're right down there. I really don't like living there. I really don't like it. Yeah, so this is a kind of new, we're going to do this a lot. I don't care what I look like. I know so much that I'm just tired of, I can't get anybody to listen to me because what I write is too long. And people don't like to converse. They don't want to know. They want to go to the mall. They want to go to the hockey game. They got to go to their kids' ballet class. And the rich people, they don't want it to change because it's been good for them and they made them richer. But I have friends that sleep on the street. I have friends that died on the street. Or died because of the shitty drug situation. And youth problems, right? Like the youth. There's youth sleeping on the street. This is not, I know a guy that's been on the street for 15 years, he's in his 30s, you know. This isn't right. In Norway, it wouldn't be happening. You see, Finland, there's no homosexuality. And here we have, you know, weather here, that whether it's rain or the deep cold, nobody should be sleeping outside. You see, so we need the native belief that everybody gets taken care of. It's the native culture here, and we need to make that what we call common law, part of the law, common law within the community. British lands, everything is common law, so the native laws should become part of our legal system. And that's one of them. You take care of the elderly, and you guide the children. You don't do the things to them at the church. Right? They say Bible's booze and buggery, you know, and internment. You know, and they passed a law in 1922 that look up. And I doubt if there's any books on this in Portuguese. There might be in anthropology anyway. You're like this when I'm speaking, right? There's a thing here called the potlatch, which means in the old trade jargon to give. But it meant a big gift feast, a big dinner, giving away everything, blankets,
more modern decades refrigerators, hundreds at a time. The chief would give away wealth to show he didn't need it, and enriching the community. And then somebody else had to hold a rivalship club. That's and that was the basis of the economy and the society. So that was banned in 1922. And more than 2 native males were not allowed to assemble, or it would be considered a political meeting, and they would be arrested and sent to jail. We have more natives in jail per capita than blacks are in the United States because of the way our legal system is set up. This is not the great white north, this is the great red north, and it's occupied by us. But there's many people here who sympathize. These are Vancouver is called the unoccupied territories. No, is that right? Unsurrendered territories. Because there's no treaty with the Crown like there should have been. So there's no legal basis for the establishment of all of this, unless the natives own a big chunk of it, and that's what the land claim to is. Luckily, they're rising in power in place, and they're strong people, vibrant people that are way almost way down, and then sent to schools and have shit beat out of their language beat out. It's, you know, we have a horrible history, right? And I want the world to know, and I'm tired of British Columbians ignoring it. So, the old hippie that I am, you know, musician, you know, I'm articulate. I speak languages too. I'll do this in French, Spanish. I never learned how to
I see your Portuguese is pretty good.
Yeah, well, you know, I wish I knew more. It's gorgeous, you know. I had in Sao Paulo, I bought a bunch of music. I'm going to turn this to positive.